Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be a summary of 1 Kings chapter 2, verses 1 through 46. And David's time of death had drawn near. And so he had Solomon come to him, and he said, "Be strong and show yourself to be a man that will keep the laws of the Lord your God. Walk in the ways of the Lord, in his statutes, in his commandments, and in his testimonies, as it is written in the laws of Moses. If you will obey God, then you will prosper in all the things that you do. For God has told me, as long as we walk in truth with God, there will not fail to be one seed of mine that will sit on the throne of Israel." And you know what Joab has done to me. And you know that he has killed two of the captains when it was peacetime. So do to him according to your wisdom, and do not allow him to go down to his grave in peace. Also, show kindness to the sons of Barzil, for he let me eat at his table when I had fled for my life. And Shimea, a Benjaminite, had cursed me when I was running for my life. Now he came to meet me at the Jordan, and I swore that I would not put him to death. But he is not guiltless. So you are a wise man, and you know what you should do to bring his own blood upon him. Now, David had died, and he was buried in the city of David. He reigned over Israel for 40 years, and he reigned in Hebron for 7 years, and he reigned for 33 years in Jerusalem. And then Solomon had sat on the throne of David, his father, and his kingdom was established. Now, Adonijah had wanted to take a wife, so he went to Bathsheba and asked her to go to Solomon and ask for him to have this wife, because he would not tell his mother no. Now Bathsheba had went into Solomon and asked about Adonijah having this young lady as his wife. And Solomon became very angry, and he said, "Well, you just give him my whole kingdom too, mother?" And Solomon said, "Adonijah has brought about his own blood upon his house, because he has spoken these words against him this day." Now Solomon had Benadad to kill Adonijah, and he also went to the priest that had brought affliction upon his father, King David. And he had told him that he should flee to the fields, for he would not put him to death. He was worthy of death, but he would not put him to death, for he had carried the Ark Covenant. But because he has brought affliction onto his father, he was thrown out of the priesthood. And this was to fulfill the words that God had said to Eli, that he would not have a priest in the temple. Now this news had came to Joab, that the king had got word that he was supporting Adonijah. And so Joab had went to the temple and threw himself onto the altar and held on to the altar. Now this was told to Solomon, and Solomon had sent Benadad down to kill Joab. And he said, "This is for the innocent blood that you have shed. It'll fall upon Joab and his household and his seed. But for the house of David and his seed, they will have peace forever from the Lord." Now Benadad became the captain of Solomon's army. And then the king had called Shimea before him and said, "Build your house in Jerusalem, but do not leave Jerusalem, for in the day that you do, your life will be in your own hands." And Shimei had agreed to this. But then, 3 years later, it was told to him that two of his servants had fled to the country of Gath. And so Shimei had left Jerusalem and went to Gath to get his servants. And then this was told to King Solomon that Shimei had left Jerusalem. And Shimei had knew the deal that he had made with Solomon. So therefore his blood was on his own head. Solomon had Benaiah to kill Shimei, and then the kingdom was established by the hands of Solomon. May God be with you in everything and in every way.